welcome back to the channel, or of course, welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about unlocking your feminine energy because being a girl is fun, so why not enjoy it? Before we jump in, I do want to cover a few housekeeping things. I have gotten so many comments over the couple of years that I've been on YouTube about my sound. I've tried all the different things, but we got a new mic today and we're trying a new setup. We're a little bit more up close and personal, so definitely comment below, how's the sound? Do you like the new setup? Do you like the closer vibe, the further away vibe? And we'll figure out the right fit for the channel. But thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for supporting. And if you want to support even further, you can head on over and follow me on TikTok, and you can also follow me on Instagram. Everywhere I am Affirmations with Amber, and I would love the support. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right back in. We're going to be discussing the importance of understanding what it means to exude feminine energy. It can be really tricky to start doing something or implement something into your life if you're like, I have no clue what that means. Where do I even start? What am I supposed to be doing? So let's go ahead and break it down first. I feel like there's so many misconceptions about being a feminine woman or about femininity in general. Sometimes people think it is like presenting yourself as a weak person, or sometimes people think in order to be feminine, you just have to wear dresses all the time and frolic around all the time. While I do love a good dress and a good frolic, that is definitely not all that femininity is about. It is truly about being balanced. It's about embracing your nurturing side while also being empathetic, creative, and connecting to your emotions. And I love the fact that it's just all about flow. It's a beautiful energy that allows you to flow through life without having to overdo it, having to work too hard, having to have this hustle mentality, but being able to live and enjoy your softness while still accomplishing things that you want to do and being productive. Femininity is so powerful. It can impact you positively in so many different ways in your life, but at the same time, it's also something that's very gentle and allows you to really lean into yourself and into your personal being. I love the implementation of harmony and flow and balance and how that works so nicely with feminine energy, because it truly exudes through you, through confidence, and you're able to share your femininity through that confidence with the world. But at the same time, it's something that's so sacred for you because you have feminine routines and feminine thoughts and mindsets that really help you ground yourself in who you truly are. So there are so many different aspects of femininity. If y'all really like this topic, let me know. I love covering feminine content. So comment below and let me know some other ideas that you would like to see on the channel, other questions that you have about femininity that you would like to hear my opinion on, or you would like me to share more information on. But in general, for this video, I wanted to keep it pretty simple and break it into 3 different portions of how you can be more feminine and lean into your feminine energy. So today specifically, we're going to be focusing on mindset, personal appearance, and demeanor. So for each of these categories, I'm going to be sharing 3 different ways or a few different options for you to be able to try out to really start embracing and enjoying your life as a feminine woman and lean into that feminine energy. First up is a mindset. I feel like mindset is so important, especially if you are someone that has had maybe a rougher past. It can be really difficult to accept the fact that it's okay for you to live this soft, subtle life and actually enjoy being a feminine woman. But I want you to shift your mindset around that idea. Everyone has the opportunity to be a feminine woman, regardless of what your profession is or what your family life looks like or what your socioeconomic status is. You deserve to be a feminine woman who truly loves herself and exudes confidence in everyday life. So one great way to start grounding yourself in your mindset for your femininity is really trusting in your emotions and allowing yourself to connect with them. And that includes feeling your emotions and also expressing them freely. And it's really important to make sure that you're doing it in that order. Self-reflection is a super important component of making sure that you're presenting yourself as a feminine woman, because honestly, the easiest response when things aren't going so well, or sometimes people say things you don't enjoy, is to express your emotions right away. But if you take a step back to feel those emotions, process those emotions, think through everything before you share your response, and you're going to be able to give a graceful, classy response while also being very assertive at the same time, but not stepping outside of your femininity. Another helpful thing to do throughout this process when you're trying to explore what those emotions is to journal. I love prompted journals because it asks you questions and gives you a bit of guidance, but I also think it's nice if you're someone who just wants to free journal, talk about how you're feeling, what different emotions have come up, what your initial response was, and then work through some solutions of how you can handle this, how you can communicate your issues to others. You can even practice with a trusted friend or really lean into trusting your inner self. Have that inner dialogue, say, hey, this is how I'm feeling about the situation. Here's what I want to do, but also what's my end goal and what's the intent and what are some things that I can do that kind of allow me to feel like I've gotten my point across, I've said what I need to say, I've worked toward finding a solution, while at the same time still maintaining that softness and being true to who I am. So there's definitely a delicate balance there, but knowing yourself is really important to helping you to start shifting your mindset about how you react to certain situations so that you can protect your peace and protect your feminine energy throughout the process. Another thing that's really important for you regarding your mindset and how it connects to your feminine energy is how you nurture your relationships. Connection is such an important piece of who we are and how we thrive in our lives. So it's really important to cultivate deep, meaningful relationships. I know sometimes people are like, I've had these friends since I was a child and we've grown up together and we're there and we support each other. And other people may be like, well, I don't have a lot of childhood friends. How am I supposed to build those connections? You can build them as an adult. And honestly, sometimes it's also nicer to build them as an adult because you are who you are now and you don't have to worry about those friendships being stuck in the past or in a place that you've grown from. So while both options are great, I have a ton of childhood friends and I also have friends that I've met as an adult. Either way, you want to make sure that with those friendships and those relationships, it is very reciprocal. You both support each other, you both love each other, you both want to see each other grow, and you nurture that. And you take time to think about how you can keep your friendships and your relationships very positive while also supporting others. As a feminine woman, showing up for other people is a piece that's also very important. And showing up for others looks different to everyone, but identify what that looks like for you. Are you a good listener? Do you like to give gifts to people? Like whatever that looks like for you, make sure that you're incorporating that into your life and nurturing those relationships because it also helps you nurture yourself and your feminine side. And the last point I want to touch on regarding mindset and femininity is that you have to view yourself as a soft and deserving woman who centers your routine and your lifestyle around your feminine energy. So if that means that you take time to read or meditate in the morning, or you're making sure that you're engaging in mindful movement like stretching or Pilates or going for a walk, whatever that looks like for you, you are setting up a lifestyle that supports you living in your softness, that supports you enjoying and leaning into balance in your life. You're not always in a rush, you're not always in the go, you're also not always stagnant in life. There's a balance, there's a flow, you're moving towards something while still taking time to enjoy where you are and support yourself in the different stages of your growth. The next category that we're going to be getting into about leaning into and enjoying your feminine energy is your personal appearance. And I feel like this is what comes to mind initially for the most part when people are thinking about what it means to be a feminine woman, to lean into their femininity. But I want to touch on it from a different lens, and that starts with hygiene. It's so important to make sure that you're not viewing hygiene as something that you have to do or a chore. So instead of saying like, hey, this is just a requirement, it's a part of my life, view taking care of your hygiene as a privilege. It's nice for you to be able to luxuriate, take longer showers or longer baths, have a really nice skincare routine where you're trying out different products, you're figuring out what works for you. All of those things are a beautiful luxury in life that you can enjoy as a soft feminine woman. So instead of saying like, oh, I have to go take a quick shower, no, set aside time to have an enjoyable shower routine where you're able to try new products, new body butters, body oils, body washes, all of those things that make you feel beautiful, soft, and feminine, and just enjoy those little moments of really pampering yourself throughout your day and throughout your week. If you can set aside time for that, it's really going to help you to exude your feminine energy. It's so important to just make sure that you are fresh, that you are clean, that you look nice and presentable at all times, because that's going to help you with your confidence and help you connect to your femininity as well. The next step is that you really have to take pride in the way that you dress. So if you have not done a closet clean out recently, I want you to go into your closet and do a huge purge. Get rid of all the things that don't identify with who you want to be, how you want to present yourself, what your version of her looks like. If that's not leaning into the woman that you're striving to become, then you don't need those things in your wardrobe. So go ahead and get rid of them. Also get rid of anything that is stained or ripped or has pilling on it or has holes in it. You want to make sure that your clothes are always nice and presentable. Don't hold on to things for the sake of just having clothes. It also makes it so much easier for you to see what you do have, what you may need, what gaps you have in your wardrobe. If your closet is clean and organized, your drawers are clean and organized, you have a lot more clarity in order to be able to figure out what wardrobe changes you can make, and you can slowly do this over time. Do not go break the bank. Make sure that you're setting a budget if you're trying to recreate your wardrobe, but take it slow, keep it very simple, and always ask yourself, is this outfit, this shirt, this pants, these shoes, are these items something that I see my higher self wearing? Are these items something that my dream version of myself as a wonderful feminine woman? If they're not, you don't need to get them and you don't need to keep them. So start truly building around who you want to be. Even if you're not completely there in your life yet, start just getting a few pieces, dressing more like the person that you desire to be and leaning into that femininity. And lastly, this does kind of connect with hygiene like I was talking about earlier, but hygiene is honestly the base, the foundation. As a feminine woman, you get to have fun, you get to do more. Indulge in fragrances, in scented lotions, and things that just make you feel like the most beautiful girl in the world. I honestly feel like the allure of a woman and what makes her seem feminine and confident definitely has a lot to do with the way that she smells. When you know that you smell good, there's just something so special about that. So even if you're not someone who's a signature scent person, I do think it's important to kind of find your signature scent. But for me, I am obsessed with fragrances. My fragrance collection just continues to grow. But I do have at least a signature scent profile for seasons. Warmer months, I'm definitely more floral, fresh, fruity type of scents. And then when it gets a bit cooler, I get a bit sweeter as far as my scents go, more gourmand, things that are a little bit heavier, a little bit more cologne scented, more than perfume scented. So I have at least an idea of what I like in the fragrance world. And I make sure that I put fragrances on and smell really, really good as often as I possibly can. Over time, I've realized that what really works is definitely layering. So I don't know if you're on TikTok, but there's a body glaze company, I think it's Canvas Beauty. They have these body glazes that make your skin glow and look amazing, but a lot of them also have really great scents. So I'll usually have that as my base layer, and then I'll put fragrance on top of that. Sometimes I'll mix and match fragrances, layer them on top of each other. I spray them on my skin and on my clothes so that it's really long lasting. I want to walk by people and have them inhale my scent, because I feel like that's just an essence and a presence of you entering a room and putting your best self forward. All right, and lastly, let's get into the topic of demeanor. How do you carry yourself and present yourself as a feminine woman? Overall, the whole idea of demeanor for me when it comes to feminine energy is that you make the effort with everything. It's truly about just going the extra mile, setting some extra time aside, really thinking some things through, and putting forth the effort to make sure that you're connecting to that feminine energy on a regular basis. So something that I found super helpful as far as really leaning into your demeanor and figuring out how you want to present yourself is to revisit some old hobbies or come up with some new hobbies. For me, one of my favorite hobbies is definitely dance. I feel like the freedom of movement and expression and being able to connect with the music really helps me feel more grounded, which helps me feel more balanced, which helps me connect with my feminine energy. So for you, if that could be art or some type of sport or reading or some type of creative outlet, definitely rediscover that. Or if it's something that's new, give yourself options to discover those new things. One of the new things that I absolutely loved is pottery. I discovered it, I started making things, and then I kind of let that fizzle out. So it's something that I want to get back into as well. Just really think about the things that you've kind of put on the back burner, that you haven't given much attention to, and discover how you can reincorporate those into your life so that you can build this very well-rounded feminine lifestyle that you're able to live and enjoy. The second tip that's very helpful for your demeanor as you're leaning into your feminine energy is to connect yourself with nature. Now, I think this definitely looks different for everyone. If you're somewhere where you can actually go on hikes very safely, I would definitely say give that a try. There's so much beauty in the world, so many sights to see, so many pieces of nature and aspects of that to be able to enjoy. So go out and find them and spend some time really connecting with yourself in the process. Especially if you live by water. I wish I lived by a nice body of water so badly, but if you're by an ocean or a beautiful beautiful lake. Go spend time just walking, strolling, spending time alone with your own thoughts. It's such a beautiful moment to be able to spend with yourself. And if you live somewhere like me where there's not a ton of scenery going on, try to go find a park, walk around your neighborhood, really push yourself to be able to explore the outdoors, get some sunlight, increase your vitamin D, and see how much happier and healthier that makes you feel, and also how much more that encourages you to lean into your femininity. And lastly, I think it's so important for your demeanor to be able to lean into creativity. As women, we have so much to offer, so why not explore what all you can give and really enjoy those moments? There are a ton of creative outlets like painting, writing, crafting, doing home DIY projects. Whatever truly interests you, make the effort to really express your creativity in ways that maybe you haven't explored before. Creativity is truly a core part of having that feminine energy, and allowing yourself to be very expressive, again, connects back to what we're talking about with mindset, with you really being connected and drawn into your emotions and being able to express them in a very powerful and captivating way while still staying true to yourself and staying connected with your feminine energy. So I hope this video was helpful for all of you today. We covered 3 different categories of mindset, personal appearance, and demeanor as it has to do with unlocking the power of your potential and connecting with your feminine energy. Please comment down below if you liked this video, if you enjoyed it. I always want to say hi. Thank you all so much for being here. I love to know a little bit more about you, also any different topics that interest you all as well. Leave it in the comment section down below. All right, so that wraps us up. I really hope that you can lean into unlocking your feminine energy and enjoying yourself on your journey to self-discovery, and that this video was a helpful step along the way. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already part of the community, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.